I took a DNA test thinking it would be a simple way to learn more about my heritage. It was something I'd seen friends do, and I was curious about my family's origins. There was no suspicion in my heart, no thought that something might be wrong. I was living what I thought was a happy life with my wife and our 2 children. We had been together for over a decade, and I had always believed we were building something real, something lasting. When the results arrived, I noticed something odd. The ancestry percentages didn't quite line up the way I expected. I brushed it off at first. Maybe it was a mistake, or maybe I just didn't understand the results properly. But curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to order another test, this time including the kids. I told my wife it was for fun, a family activity. She agreed without hesitation. That detail haunts me now. The new results hit like a hammer. The children I had raised, loved, and sacrificed for were not biologically mine. I checked the reports repeatedly, trying to find some error, some hope that science had somehow failed. But it hadn't. It was me who had failed to see what had been happening right in front of me all these years. I confronted my wife one quiet evening. She denied it at first, her eyes wide with confusion, but when I showed her the papers, the truth came out. She cried and admitted that she had been cheating, multiple times, with more than one man, over the course of 12 years. She confessed that she never knew for sure who the biological fathers were. I felt like I was floating above the room, watching a nightmare unfold. My world collapsed in that moment. I couldn't breathe. The walls of the life we had built together suddenly felt like a prison closing in. Every memory, the birthdays, the holidays, the late-night talks, felt contaminated. I looked at my wife and couldn't recognize her anymore. Worse still, I looked at my children and felt a tidal wave of confusion and pain. They were innocent. They still loved me, but part of me couldn't help but feel disconnected, as if I'd lost something vital without even knowing it. The days that followed were a blur of silence and sleepless nights. I couldn't eat, I couldn't think. I stayed in the house, but I was no longer truly present. My mind was trapped in loops of what-ifs and whys. My wife begged for forgiveness. She swore she still loved me. But love doesn't survive repeated betrayal. Trust, once shattered, is almost impossible to repair. One night, I packed a small bag, walked out of the house, and disappeared. I didn't tell anyone where I was going. I needed space, distance, anything to stop the pain from drowning me. I left behind everything, my job, my family, my name. I vanished because I didn't know who I was anymore. I wasn't a husband, I wasn't a father, I wasn't even sure I was still myself. I now live in a small town under a different name. I work a simple job and speak to almost no one. The quiet is painful, but it's also healing in its own way. Some mornings I wake up and for a brief moment, I forget the pain. Then it returns like a familiar ache. I often think about the kids. I wonder if they miss me, if they ask where I went. I wonder if I should have stayed for them, even though they weren't mine by blood. But the truth is, I was too broken to be what they needed anymore. Cheating doesn't just end relationships, it burns down entire lives. It left me hollow, questioning everything I thought I knew. I'm slowly learning to live again, but some wounds never fully heal. They just become part of who you are.